folks, I'm back. It's me, Mahmood Chowdhury, aka the People's Coach, aka your host and speaker for today. Welcome back to all my educational, motivational and inspirational videos. Now in today's video, I want to talk to you guys about suffering. Now suffering comes in many different forms, shapes and disguises. But the thing I'm trying to bring to your attention is this. In today's video, I want to highlight a certain area on suffering. There is suffering in life where it's beyond our control. And there's suffering, for example, death. Up to a certain point, we cannot control it. Because if a person has to go and their time is up, then that's it. They have suffered. They are about to expire. You can't do nothing back. You cannot do anything. You can't bring them back to life. That's it. Their appointed time has arrived. End of. Their life has gone. And then when it's your turn, when you're about to expire, that's it. There's a cut-off point. You cannot do anything about it. You have to just give in to the suffering. Because the more you fight against suffering, for example, the harder the suffering becomes. The more you're resisting, the more harder the suffering becomes. Sometimes it's about giving in, surrendering. Because when you start surrendering to the suffering, to the pain, then it's a lot more easier to deal with rather than resisting. Because when you surrender, you're able to understand things. You're able to build up strength from different areas and aspects where you never thought possible. It's all about yielding, surrendering to sadness. Feel it. Go through it if you have to and understand it. Learn from it. Then you grow from it. If you resist, you will not get these insights. You will not get the experience. You will not get the know-how in terms of moving on because you're always resisting. In life, you don't always have to resist everything out there. Sometimes you can just give in. There's nothing wrong with giving in. As long as the whole idea is to learn, to understand, to feel, and then to focus, and then you move on. That's the whole idea of suffering. Yeah, you have your cries, your tears, your fears, your anxiety, stresses, but don't stay in that predicament for too long. This is the thing I'm trying to bring to your attention. It's not about self-pity, and it's not about seeking self-pity from others. Because even if you do that, they will make you feel rubbish anyway. So what's the point? Pick yourself up, get on with it, deal with it. Have your moment of loneliness, have your moment of sadness, then move on. Continue the day. Continue with your life. You still have to move on. Do not allow the suffering to stop you from functioning. Life doesn't end just because you're suffering. No. You can still continue. You keep on going until you can no longer go. That's it. Point blank, clear cut, simple as that. As it may sound. But doing it and going through it is a painful experience. And it's each to their own. Everyone will go through suffering at some point in their life. And it's up to you to understand it, to feel it, and to take whatever benefit you can from it in order to move on in life. That's what it's about. You're learning from each and every single situation you encounter in life. Suffering is just a vehicle to keep you moving on from one phase to the next, whether it's this life or the life after. Everything is a vehicle. Suffering is a vehicle to get you from here to there. Pain is a vehicle to get you from here to there. Stagnation is a vehicle to get you from here to there because you get fed up. You don't want to be in that same predicament all your life. So at some point you will break and then you'll move on. None of us never stays in the same predicament for so long throughout the rest of your life. It doesn't work that way. You'll ever deteriorate. Even if you're staying in the same position and you're suffering, there'll come a time where you have to leave. Whether you like it or not, whether it be voluntarily, by your own choice, or involuntarily. Because life will just dispel you, disperse you, just disregard you. You'll be washed and wiped off the face of this earth. So suffering is inevitable. But let's utilize whatever suffering we face, whether sadness, loneliness, and the happy times that we face. Let's utilize these moments to learn, to feel, to understand, and then move on. This is the thing that I'm trying to bring to your attention, people. Life is not just about enjoying yourself, live for the weekend. It's about living and dealing with what is real, what is in reality. Not just thinking positive, but also thinking negative and dealing with the negative, understanding the negative. And once you've understood it, then turn the negative, your weakness, into your strength. There's no point in working just on your strength, focusing on the positive, neglecting the weakness. No, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you work on your strengths and focus on the positive, you're disregarding something that will always be there, which is the negative. Do not run away from negative things. You have to learn how to deal with it, because you are surrounded by negativity, whether you realize it or not. But it falls down to you to deal with it. You have to deal with it. You can't just go away to cuckoo land and think positive all the time. It doesn't work like that. Because at some point, negativity will get you. Then what are you going to do? You have to deal with it. You have to learn to cope with it. And it's the opposing factors throughout life, where you got the good and you got the bad. You have to deal with one another. Each factor as it comes. So that is my point, people. I know I've just sort of rambled on a little bit and just drifted off and just went into a tangent, sorry. I do apologize for that, but I hope you guys get the gist of what I'm trying to bring to your attention. Which is all about suffering. It's inevitable. At some stage you will face it, or you know someone who's going through it. So you have to grow through it as well as go through it. Yield, learn to surrender. Because who knows, you may find your biggest strength rather than resisting and fighting. Everything has a time and its place. There's a time for fighting and there's a time for surrendering. And it's your call. It's up to you. You pick and choose whatever choice you choose to take. It is solely down to you. People, I've said enough. Until then, keep tuning in for more up-and-coming materials. Take care, stay strong, stay focused, and always live to learn to power and inspire the lives of many as well as yourself. Bye for now.